to be under the sea. This is God in the shade. Yo, so if you clicked on this video, you're probably not aware of me at all. I've only got 4 subscribers, but I've got quite a lot of things to talk about, and you may discredit me, just a kid talking about the truth of big company. But stick around for a bit and see if anything piques your interest. So this is going to be a little bit all over the show. I'm just going to start with companies that take advantage of your biology. These are things like social media, porn, and food. Things that you consume. So these are things that are kind of publicly known, but people just refuse to kind of investigate or look at it. So if we take a look at the first example, which is social media, we know that these social media companies hire these really professional scientists and anything to study how people react to different parts of the screen. Every pixel on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever it is designed to keep humans on the app. The feature that every single social media has now of scrolling down isn't a coincidence. This is something that they have purposefully added into their app so that you will stay on it for longer. Almost every social media now has a thing like TikTok where you scroll to the next video every 2 seconds, and that just fries your attention span. Social media wants you to stay on their app for longer, because the longer you're on, the longer you see ads, and the more you see ads, the more money they make. This is a common theme throughout the entire video. Every company's number one priority is making money. And like I said, every color, every pixel on the screen is designed to keep you on the app. And they track everyone's activity on these apps to see how they react to different things. They're just slowly perfecting it to make it more and more addicting. That's why so many people are addicted to social media. Next thing I'll go over is porn. This one's pretty simple as well. It's basically just they are tapping into your biological instinct to reproduce. That is the number one priority of every living organism. And as humans, we do have other purposes that we can attribute to our own life, but in a biological sense, our number one purpose is to reproduce. And when we watch things like porn, this tricks our brain and our body that we are reproducing, and not only that, but we're reproducing with hundreds of women, and very highly attractive women. This is basically life's purpose for man. And when this happens, our body says, hey, we've done everything we need to, and we get complacent and lazy. Why would our brain and body want to go out and go through the hard task of finding a real high quality woman when you just type up a few words on Google and there you have it? And this is just getting worse and worse because videos are getting more realistic. There's VR porn, and soon there's going to be metaverse porn, and you can pay for virtual prostitutes. Like, this is a real problem for mostly men. People are stuck in it because they're getting their biology taken over. I'll say this one more time. When your brain and body thinks that you've completed its biological mission, you get lazy. You think you're fulfilled, but you haven't. And that's why so many people are addicted to porn. Next thing I'll talk about is fast food. This one is pretty simple as well. Biologically, we are inclined to crave food that is fatty and sugary. Why? Because they have a lot of calories and energy in them. And when we were cavemen, these things weren't easy to come by. So when we had them, we would eat them as soon as we could, because we needed to survive. And now that these foods are right there in an instant, we don't really need these cravings anymore, but we still have them. So people will crave food that is very unhealthy in a high dose, but they have these cravings all the time. And food companies know this. They know how to formulate the perfect burger, the perfect chocolate, the perfect ice cream, the perfect anything. They know how to get the right chemicals reacting in your brain when your taste buds taste this food. This is why there's such a big obesity problem in this world. It's because your biology is getting taken over. Just like porn, just like social media. Your biology is literally getting taken advantage of. These companies are scientifically producing the most perfect formulation of chemicals and whatever to make a reaction in your brain so you keep eating their food and they keep making money. But people are addicted to it so much because, like I said, their biology is getting taken advantage of. We crave these kind of foods, and scientists and big companies will recognize that and take advantage of it. another thing I want to go over is big companies make unnatural products because natural, easy to make products is unprofitable. Why are the simplest, easiest solutions sometimes the right answer? And we've never been told about this because we always get told by big companies that we need their specific solution or this specific formula of whatever it is to get the desired results. But so many times this isn't the case, and this is only because companies cannot sell a simple ingredient. These are things like supplements or products that help with fitness, like losing weight, or anything like this. Any problem that a lot of people have that can be solved simply, but they want you to buy their product. Like I said, this world isn't as complex as you might think. A lot of solutions to problems are very simple, but companies can't profit off of this, so they'll lie to you and say that their way is the best way. Very simple, guys. So many companies will try to add more and more ingredients, saying that they will help you, and they only do this because they know that no one else will make these formulations at home, because they don't need to. But it's far more profitable to make people think that they can't make your product, so they have to buy it from you. And this is because, like I said, 99% of companies don't have your best interest. 99% of companies don't care about the customers whatsoever. They only care that the customers aren't angry at them. They don't care if their products don't work. They don't care if their products are doing harm. They just care that their customers are oblivious to this. You just gotta realize that people can be evil, even you. It is possible for any human being to be a disgusting person. People always will say that, but why would people be so evil? It's the same reason that tragic attacks on people happen. It's the reason that the Holocaust happened. It's the reason that there is concentration camps in China right now. Why? Because people are evil. It's because people are sadists. There's a really good podcast by Iman Gatsi and Richard Harris, and this is on Iman Gatsi's podcast called The Private Victories. There's 2 episodes, and they're talking about all the lies that has happened in the pandemic, and you can click off the video and call me a conspiracy theorist, but they didn't lie a single time in that thing. And they talk about sadism and how this happens in the first podcast. And if you want to dive deeper into that, you can. And now that we're on the topic of the 2020 incident, I'll just go a little bit into it. And like I said, people can be evil. Governments, companies, people in general, a lot of them do not have the people's best interests, other people's best interests. Think about, like I said, the 2020 incident. Do you think that these countries had people's best interest when they locked everyone up? When suicides and depression and anxiety skyrocketed? When the economy plummeted? When they forced everyone to wear masks that didn't work? When they forced people to get an injection to go back to living a normal life? These people did not have people's best interest, but 99% of people like to be willfully blind. They like to look away from the truth because it's easier to live that way, for a limited period of time at least. People like to only listen to mainstream media that over every single country splurts out the same script. People don't like to find out for themselves. People don't like the truth. People like, as I said, to be willfully blind. Being willfully blind leads to terrible things. People can say this is just blowing it out of proportion, but this is how Nazi Germany happened, is because of willful blindness. This is because everyone just followed what the next person was saying and didn't want to speak up, didn't want to retaliate, didn't want to go against the grain. This is how it happened, is because of willful blindness, because people didn't want to face the truth and be the opposition. This is why suicides and depression and anxiety skyrocketed. This is why we were forced to wear masks that didn't work. This is why the economy plummeted. This is why we got injected with something that didn't work just to live a normal life again. And for some people, that didn't even happen. And keep in mind that this is all for a virus that has a death rate that is less than 1% if you're not fucking 90,000 years old. Again, you can just continue to be willfully blind and call me a nutcase, but I would very strongly recommend you watch the 2 episodes by the Private Victories podcast by Iman Gatsi and Richard Harris. These 2 podcasts are really detailed. They don't do conspiracies. They tell the truth and they provide proof. And I know it's a lot to ask of people to watch 2 fucking podcasts, but this is for people who really want to know more. You can find them on Spotify, and you can just speed it up to like 2 times speed, and it won't take as long. But yeah, again, this is not for everybody. Another podcast that I really like is a podcast by David Icke. A lot of people probably call him a conspiracy theorist as well, but I think this is a really good podcast to get news that isn't reported on. Before I end the video, I'll end this with one thing. If this wasn't a scam, why do 99% of all over the world's news stations, social medias, governments, and politicians all say the same story? Alright guys, thanks for listening.